Hey, Planeswalkers, Mythras here. Hope you're doing well and staying safe. Welcome to today's episode of Top Deck, my friends. I am super excited to share with you a top 1000 Jund Sacrifice deck. That is right, my friends. And this particular deck is by Provisione del Tempo. So congratulations, Tempo, here on hitting the top 1000 with this deck. I'm super excited to share this with the community today. And for those of you that are tuning in, I appreciate your time, and we do have a lot to cover. So please feel free to use the timestamps and find the portion of the video that's relevant for you, where we are going to talk about the strategy objective of this deck list, how to board for best of 3. We'll go play some competitive Magic in both best of 1 and best of 3, and then we'll kind of wrap it all up and talk about where this may fit in the meta and our experience here today. So with that, Planeswalkers, as always, just a huge thank you. I truly appreciate your support. Please feel free to subscribe to the channel down over there, and additionally like the video if you like it. You can like me on Facebook and follow me on Twitter and Twitch as well. Lots of great ways for us to connect down below in the description. Now, before we hop into it here, one last piece. If you do have questions or comments throughout, please let me know. I'm happy to help, and then also feel free to hop on the Discord server, my friends, and the deck list is available for you down there. So today we have a top 1000 Jund Sacrifice deck, technically probably a Jund Jegantha Sacrifice deck. So we do have this companion here, but traditionally the big piece that we're picking up outside of the traditional, I'll say, Rakdos Sacrifice is really all about Korvold, Fae of the Cursed King here. So what this guy does is whenever this guy enters or attacks, we sacrifice a permanent and we put a +1/+1 counter on Korvold and draw a card. And then whenever we sacrifice a permanent, so either attack or enter, also we can sacrifice, you can add a +1/+1 counter on this guy. So we have a lot of enablers. We got Emergent Predator. So this is the new one. If you guys did check out the Rakdos Sacrifice video, this guy is very important. He's very hard to move off, and great and limited too, by the way. So make sure you're drafting this. But this guy, we can tap it. We can exile up to 1 target card from a graveyard, put a +1/+1 counter on this guy, or we can sacrifice another creature. And then this guy we can tap, gains indestructible, and then again you can add that +1/+1 counter from the graveyard, kind of a thing. So very, very important there. This is a big pickup from Kaldheim. Additionally, the other pickup here is Valki, God of Lies, and Tybalt. So big pieces here. This guy enters, we can look at our opponent's hand, grab a creature, use X, become that creature for whatever its mana cost is, or again at the 7 top in there, we have a lot of things we can do with Tybalt. Now, the strategy and objective of this deck here is really about taking our opponent's creatures, sacrificing them with things like Claim the Firstborn, Crow and War. We have outs to sacrifice with things like Wolfstrider and Predator here, and then additionally also Korvold. And then we also have this ability to play from the graveyard with Kroxa. We don't have the fill, which is interesting in this particular version. With Mire Triton, we do have Skyclave Shade, which helps protect us against Rogue's decks. And then obviously we have some direct damage and self-sack here as well with Village Rites or Enablers, again with Claim the Firstborn, to get the draws that we need. We've had a really nice run with the Rakdos version. Really excited to run the Jund version here today. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun, but that is really what this is about. It's really kind of a mid-rangey deck. You're tying down kind of the early game, stealing your creatures, making use out of those things, and leveraging some of your huge hitters here in the late game to close the match out. Now, when we go and move into the sideboard portion here, when we consider the best of 3, this is what we have going on in terms of our sideboard. I'm going to break this out for you in terms of the aggro, the mid-range, and the late game lineup, because it's going to be particular on how you want to do that. So when we talk about the aggro lineup, this is very well positioned against that because it's a creature-based deck. Things that you can add in are Heartless Act. You could consider Elspeth's Nightmare if you wanted to as well. The Crow and War is nice. I actually don't mind Toski, Bearer of Secrets as well, just for on the block side, but this guy does attack in every turn, but gives you an opportunity to kind of draw some of those cards. Things that I would consider moving out, I would actually consider consider moving out Corvold here on the top end. The other thing that I would also consider is potentially the Skyclave Shades, and I would do that because they can't block. So you can trade for the direct damage, move those things in, and really focus on those pieces, again, starting here and then maybe potentially moving into Corvold. If they do have graveyard play, pull in the Clythos, and we're going to be good to go there, my friends. Now, when we talk about the Rogues deck specifically, Skyclave we're already set up well for. I would consider moving into Duress, Chainweb, Arachner. You could also go with Heartless Act or Elspeth's Nightmare, and Clythos. Lots of things here to really shut down our opponents, get rid of their graveyard, and kind of also leverage our own graveyards. Tigrid, God of Fright, is a nice card to play also, in terms of potentially some of these decks on the high end, but again, that's kind of how I'd focus there for those specific aggro and Rogues decks. Now, when we do move into the mid-range, that's kind of where I was going to go with Tigrid here, is kind of bridge that gap. But the reality is, again, creature-based mid-range decks, we're going to stick to what we did for the aggro lineup, which will particularly be mostly mono red. You know, the Rogues decks we covered separately, but things like Boros Knights, things like I've seen Boros Equipment decks or Warriors decks that way, mono green, aggro, stompy, those kinds of things. And then that's also going to pull us into some of the mid-range stuff where we do consider stompy, potentially Gruul aggro, which we're seeing a lot more of again as well in that space, and also other kind of things like Sultai mid-range. We obviously got the regular Rakdos sack and then the mirror match here as well. But then when we move into some of the other side of that, so they're not necessarily as creature-based, those could be like your traditional Rakdos escape decks. Is it tempo decks? Could be considered mid-range as well, just depending on what the line of play is there. But generally there's a more bit of a mix between spells not necessarily being creature based. So if we go that route, we need to consider Duress. We also may want to consider things like Elspeth's Nightmare, Clythos, God of Destiny. Potentially this is where I would pull in Toski and then also Tigrid. And then what I would look to move out actually is things where we're not going to be able to utilize the full effect of sacrifice on their creatures. I would begin to take a look at Claim the Firstborn, because we may lose some value there. Additionally, keep an eye on Skyclave, depending on what our opponents are doing, or even the Akroan War. We are running a healthy 24 lands. We do have 2 here at 26. So just keep an eye on that. You could always go a little bit less in that space as well. And then finally, in terms of late game, you're really going to want to run Duress. You're probably going to want to run Tigrid, probably Toski as well, and potentially these two, depending on what happens. We'll do the similar thing. You'll probably look to move out Claim the Firstborn and the Akroan War there as well. That should give you enough to kind of free things up and potentially land if you needed to as well. So Planeswalkers, that is the aggro, that's the mid-range and the late game lineup here for our Jund Sacrifice deck. We also talked about the key strategy and objective of this deck, really about tying down our opponent's creatures, using them against them, sacrificing them, and then really it being a mid-range deck. The other quick call out here that I did do is in terms of craft, it actually runs 3 Valkies, and then I love saying Valky, sorry, and additionally I added a Temple of Malice as well as a Temple of Abandon. You could absolutely go ahead and craft, and that's actually I grabbed the wrong one. It should be a Golgari. So let me do this real quick here. We'll go scry and flip this one in here. So those are a couple key changes I just wanted you guys to be aware of, so you can absolutely make those changes for yourself as well. And we'll leave it like that. Just want to call those out. I'll make sure the deck list down below reflects that. So we're going to go ahead now and play some competitive Magic here, friends, with this top 1000 Jund Sacrifice deck, again by our friend Provisione Del Tempo. So let's go ahead here without further ado and go play some of that competitive Magic. Very excited about that. Yesterday we ran some fun decks on Twitch. You guys can check that out. But but absolutely love this Grixis control deck. Top 100, you guys can check that out. But today is all about the top 1000 Jund sacrifice deck. So let's move into it here, as I said. So for those of you that are moving to this portion of the video, as always, feel free to check it out. We talked about the strategy objective of the deck. We talked about the aggro mid-range late game lineup, where this thing's going to excel, how to play it. This is going to be a tough match. We already ran into a Yorion deck, so it's probably Sultai. It could also be Emergent. We don't have value here. We have some value here. We have some value here. Not as much value here in Corvold on the top end. We do get this ability to look. I may keep it. We can at least pop Valky and we can sacrifice it later, which is going to be big. That does have some value for us as well. We want that land, so that's good. We can go pull the green there. Now, as we're thinking about our lines of play here, just quickly, I do want to say thank you. So it's a Sultai deck. I do want to say thank you, as always, for your support. I truly appreciate it. I'm going to do this first. I appreciate it. I want to save this guy to get Yorion. Appreciate your support, so please feel free to subscribe down over there. Additionally, like the video if you like it. You can like me on Facebook and follow me on Twitter and Twitch, my friends. Ooh, we can do this. I'm gonna grab the one green. Could have hit there. I just wanted to think about it a little bit. No blue on the field, so I'm going to hit on. Looks like they got a kill spell, which makes sense. This one's probably the Emergent deck as well. And we're definitely too slow right now. We're way too slow. And they've had double ramp. Triple ramp! Triple ramp! There you go! Oh man, they even throw that in there. That's good for those guys. I'm going to hang on to that. We can always sack here. We got a lot going on here. That could be a Valky. 2, 3, 5. They got plenty of land. Plenty of land. Omen of the Sea. We're not at lethal yet. We're on a 2-turn clock though. But they have to have a kill spell. Lots of Willow Havens. Can make their little 2/2 guy. There we go. That's what I wanted. So here's what we do. We do this. So we got a choice. We got a couple choices. What do we want? Yorion will give them draw. We can take Vornaclex. Vornaclex is good. Valky's gonna look at my hand. I'm okay if they look here. I'm gonna take this guy. Ooh. Now we just need to get through. We got close to damage here. We're very close. They can steal my Bone Crusher. Oh, there you go. They could steal my main guy. Ooh. Extra draw. They can drop their Valky. They got 2 blockers. I can steal one with claim. So I can steal 2 guys here. There we go. That's what I needed. We're good. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. We came through. We came through on that one. Very, very nice. Let's go ahead here into our next best of 1 match. We could have stolen 2 guys. We did it. We did it. I was a little worried about that, but it worked out nicely. So let's go ahead here, move into our next best of 1 match, my friends. 1-0, great way to start today. Jero 86 it is. I will keep this. We got a few things we can use. Uh-oh. 2. We're not going to be able to do well with the Tibalt Trickery deck, so we'll see what we hit here. Oh, mono red. There we go. I can deal with that. Green. Do we want to keep the green? I don't need it yet. We need the black. Go with the red. We're going to lose value on this, but let's do it. I need the Crusher for now. They got that, though. Crusher will still give me that. We'll make them play it at least. They need 3, too, if I flip it over to the Crusher. There they go. Here we go. So this is a nice matchup for us. I need to decide if we drop this. So I think we do... Well, they'll hit me with the Crusher. So I think we do this for now. You want to line this up nicely. So the other play there was to play Wolfstrider and then Immerstrom Predator. but I'll play this. So they need another snow-covered land to kill me. There we go. So this is what we needed. Now we can go green. Not there yet. That is definitely them, I think, not knowing what that deck does, or what that does. So we go here. I mean, essentially what they're going to do is they're going to double up here on these guys. And we just need to make sure we have lethal. And we're very close. So they'll put a burn on the Fireblade. That'll deal 2 damage. So we can block there, and then we can block here. If we do that, we should be good. We're good. Look at that. Boom. Sacrifice deck taking down mono red snow as it should. As it should, my friends. There we go. Very, very nice. And we didn't even steal any of their guys, really. Minus the Valky. So let's go ahead here and jump into our third and final best of 1 match for today, my friends. Looking very smooth right now. Very, very smooth. 2-0. All right, eggplants on fire. We go first. I don't like this. I do like this lineup. We're going to hit another late game deck. Right on Mythic borderline. Let's see if we can be a gatekeeper, my friends. I shouldn't say that, though. I will play this first, though. Over Croxa. Eggplants on fire. I like it. Double Croxa. Look at that. Could really get them. We need the damage on the board, though. We'll start there. Stick to this. We don't need that yet. I'm okay with that. We'll look here. Need another land. That's what we need. So we'll do this. I'm going to keep that back. Well, actually I won't, because I can do this. Now, I was thinking about dropping Wolfstride and adding Claim the Firstborn. Ooh, that hurts. That really hurts. I don't want that. Well, Cosmos Fury. You can add that on top of a Croxa. So this deck, the Sultai deck, usually runs 2 verdicts. So we'll see. I think we grabbed the green here, huh? I think so. Alright, so here's where we go into full control. We can drop this. On the stack, we sack it. And hope they can't counter. Ooh, that looked nice. Very, very nice there. So that's one of the combos with Kazu there. Glad we got to run through that way. Oh, they got their ultimatum off. Of course, they had the one card that they needed. So we'll see what they pull. We don't have enough yet for Croxa. It's like every game I play against the ultimatum Emergent deck, they hit it. Then when I went and did it, we couldn't hit it. What do we get rid of here? I can take the Verdict, and I can take Elrunes. So let's do that. I'll let them play those. Get rid of that. I think Tybalt would have ended the game for us. That's why I did that. They can have... Oh, here we go. And we still are very close. We're very close. I'll go grab a black. So if they kill this guy, we can pull Croxa. There we go. I'm okay with that, honestly. Not going to worry about Death Touch. We can swing in. There you go. Go find your Valky again and your Verdict again. Should be out of Verdict, so we'll see. This time I'll give them these two. Yeah, it didn't matter. Should go into my graveyard though. Oh. They made it. We've survived the first ultimatum. We were extraordinarily close on the second one here. Very, very close. It was a good game. 2-1 for best of one with this. Pretty good. Very, very solid there, my friends. Let's go ahead and play some best of three. Again, this is the top 1,000 deck here. That's a Jund Sacrifice deck. So another nice mid-range one. So here we go into our traditional standard ranked. Again, best of three. Yesterday we did the top 100 Grixis control deck. You guys should check that out. Today we're doing the top 1,000 Jund Sacrifice. So for those of you that are hopping in right now, we had a really nice best of one. We went 2-1. We lost ultimately at the end to a Sultai ultimatum deck. We did make it through the first one. We got them really, really close to being done. They came back. It was a nice match. We took down a nice amount of red deck. We beat another Sultai Yorion deck before that. So let's go ahead here. Very, very nice lineup. I'm going to keep this. And what I do want to say, as always, truly thank you Appreciate your support. Feel free to subscribe down over there. I really appreciate that. Feel free to like the video as well. Lots of great ways for us to connect down below in the description. I'm going to keep that as well. Lists, all that stuff down there. So Planeswalkers, as always. Ooh, we got a mono red deck, so this is gonna be real interesting for us. I will keep this. I will do this. Do we have a sacrifice? We do not. I'm gonna do this one first. Clockwork. Ooh, they dropped a land. We'll take that guy off now. We'll go grab another red. That should give us Croxa. Do I want that? I don't think I do. I should have sacked this first, by the way, you guys. That would have given me another 1/1. But I can block. I can block there. On the Faceless. We'll look. That I like. Four other cards. It's not enough. We could take Valky and look too. And that would strip everything. There we go. And that makes this much better for us too. Eight. We're good. Woo! Good call on Valky there. Very nice call. So we have all kinds of control stuff that we need to rip out of our opponent's hands. We'll drop these. We'll grab a Crowan. I like the Heartless Axe. I like, this isn't bad, but it goes, we don't have enough green, so I like Nightmare better here because we can kill a few things. And then what do we want to dump? Another thing that we can dump here. We do have a lot of lands. Why don't we strip out? We haven't hit Corvold. We hit Corvold once. I'm going to strip out one temple here. There we go. I think this is fine. Keep that out. Keep those out. We don't need to pull Graveyard yet. If they pull in some stuff that we can sack, then we'll flip it. We do have this guy to exile too. So essentially we removed our aggro piece and went for more of a control side matchup, which should hopefully help us out here. And we had a nice match, and this should be a favorable match as well. I like this lineup minus the green, which I don't like. It's a big risk. We're gonna mulligan. There we go. Oh, another risk. And get rid of Carvald. There we go. That's a big one for us. That robber of the rich, my friends. Phew. Phew. Another robber. Oi. Now they can sack one of their guys if they want to. There you go. That is the right play. Absolutely the right play. We are going to... gonna do this. We will do this. Now we could use a land. Even though we're good at this spot here. That's gone. Get that guy out. It's enough. It's going to deal 2 damage to him. Now we can grab our 1 green. We can pull this guy. I think we do this. One, two, three, four, five, six. Ooh, how do we want to do this? That's a huge bummer there. That essentially ended the match for me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't have enough. Oh, I can't steal anything. Shoot, at least we're on the play. Then we mulligan twice. Ah, it's a bummer. That is a bummer. All right. Flyers, flyers, flyers. We'll keep this. Bad line, bad line. Oh, I was so ready with Khazad-dûl there too. Steal and sack. The flyer guy. Oh. We haven't hit Immerstrom or Corvold. We have a good opportunity here though. All right, Clockwork. You made it into the third and final here. I will keep this. This is red. Turn 2, steal, sack if we need to. Or we'll see what line we hit. Kind of want to wait for the rogue though, because they've hit it every time. It's going to slow my turn 3, but I don't really have a turn 3 yet. There you go. Now we have a turn 3. That's an interesting choice. The Roiling Vortex. All right, so here's where we get the value. So now I can steal the charger. And we can sack it. Get 2. Let's go grab a red. Now we have plenty of control here. We just got to do it right. Next, we can grab this guy. Boom, we're good. There we go. Much better line of play. Very, very nice day today, my friends, with Jund Sacrifice. So let's go ahead back now and talk about this awesome deck. Again, top 1000 by Previsione del Tempo. So congratulations on this. Very, very fun. It's usually a Rakdos splash for Corvold, which I like. And we didn't get Corvold on the board, but hey, we saw it. We had it in hand. This guy's great. I like this version. I like the board. Ran really nicely here. So, Planeswalkers, to summarize today's events, we went 2-1 in best of one, very strong. We beat a Sultai, we beat a mono red. This deck excels against the aggro decks. Because it's a nice mid-range, you're stealing their creatures, it's great play, and good lines to have. And then we did lose to a Sultai Emergent deck. It was very close, so absolutely very close. We were able to get through the first Emergent cast and make it to the second, but ultimately we're not able to overcome. Very, very strong, well played. I think in best of one, it's still heavily dominated by aggro. Some of the aggro stuff's got some of the best win rates. I think certainly positioned for this, and certainly positioned for sacrifice in general. We talked about this with the Rakdos version. I like this version a lot too. I think there's a lot of thought to it. And we got to see this combo, which I loved. Kazul's Fury sack on Croxa for 5 was a lot of fun. I think it's probably in kind of a tier 2 perspective right now. Certainly, if everything was pure aggro, this would be a little bit, higher on the tier list, but that's not the case. We got to look at the full meta. So certainly in the middle of a pack, kind of tier 2. So keep an eye on this. We'll see how the things evolve. And then when we get to best of 3, we had a great run. Mono red has certainly picked up a big portion of the meta recently. We saw that in today's game, and we actually hit the right match for once in best of 3. I know several of you commented, it feels like I always play against something that this deck's not designed for. This deck is designed to eat aggro decks, and particularly mono red. So very, very happy about the output. Mono red is certainly a very strong best of 3 deck. I would just kind of echo same thing that we talked about with best of 1, similar to best of 3. Probably tier 2 deck. I think the sack decks have gotten stronger, and I think this guy's made a big impact on that, so keep those things in mind. We just got to continue to evolve some of the sideboard options. The rest is great. It's more of those long-term matchups that do cause problems for this deck, the Yorion decks. So very, very nicely positioned in the meta right now. Again, tier 2, I would say, for both best of 1 and best of 3. With that, Planeswalkers, I hope you guys enjoyed today's gameplay. Lots of fun. We had some exciting matches, some nail biters there too, and ultimately overall positioned really well and was on the upside again, an upswing in terms of winning. So if you do have questions or comments, let me know down below. Happy to help. As always, please feel free to hop in the Discord server, my friends. Love seeing you guys in there. Check out the Twitch, doing Tuesdays and Thursdays right now. So stay tuned for that. If you guys follow there, you'll be able to see the schedule. And then additionally, Planeswalkers, as always, truly humbled. Appreciate your support. Please feel free to subscribe down over there. Additionally, like the video. You guys can like me on Facebook as well, and follow me on Twitter and Twitch. Stay up to date on content like this, notifications, that kind of deal, and stay on top of the top decks. Got some cool stuff coming and brewing right now around the meta, so stay tuned. Very excited about that, and we're doing some pilot stuff in the Discord server. So if you guys hop in there, you'll get some access to that, as well as patrons and YouTube members. So stay close, my friends. We'll see you again soon. Stay safe as well. Lots of fun things coming your way. Take care. Mythras out.